Okay, this video is gonna be controversial. I am sick of hearing misinformation about Bitty, the Bitcoin mascot. We've seen so many copies and a lot of PvP, player versus player, which is incredibly bad for crypto. And this has been more of a player versus player versus player versus player versus player, which I'm completely sick of. And a lot of you guys have been asking me in my previous live stream about my thoughts. So this video, I wanted to primarily be a source of information, completely unbiased, and I'm gonna talk facts. And I'm also not gonna give any names about who's shilling what. I don't give a and honestly, I don't want to give exposure to just people providing their own bullshit interpretation just to pump their bags. The only person I'm going to shout out to in this video is my friend Winel Day. So shout out to him because he actually brought me into the right path of understanding this. So I really want to thank him. And also he just posted a video about this, which you should definitely check it out. He's going to go more into the detail and about who is beefing with who. And but I'm going to actually focus on more of the facts and my own interpretation about the PvP environment situation that we see on Solana. Okay, so this whole thing started with this thing, okay? The mascot of Bitcoin. It's catchy, it's funny. I do see why this would push. I mean, it does make sense, right? And Solana, there's not a better chain right now for mascots and weird shit like this overall. So I want to start with the very beginning. The very beginning was this launch, this bundle scam on Radium. Remember when Pump Fund wasn't even a thing and, you know, launchpads were not common use. People were launching directly with a dev on Radium, kind of like people still do on Ethereum these days. And obviously this is like one of the, you know, weirdest scams that you can see. If you see the top holders, there's two holders with 10%, one with 8%. Obviously nobody's gonna buy something like this because it's an obvious scam. So this we can disregard together, although this was the OG. Like if we're discussing OG, the first thing to ever be created is this one, 1 year and 7 months ago, okay? But obviously nobody's gonna ape this, and it's even outside of the launchpad narrative. So technically speaking, this is the OG, but we can completely disregard this because it's not part of launchpads, and obviously this is just a bundle scam, and the branding right here, it's not even the current one, so it doesn't make any sense to compare it. Coming back to the present, we saw this launch on the 9th of August, and we saw a lot of YouTubers and shillers. Again, I don't want to make names, I don't care, but we saw a lot of people talking about it on my timeline on X. This was all over the place, and it achieved an all-time high of almost 30 million. And full disclosure, I didn't even trade this. Like, I couldn't be arsed because I was hearing, you know, very different things and opinions about it, so I decided to just steer away from the drama. But you can clearly see that nobody cared, and then a Cabal the project. And how do I know that it's Cabal? Obviously, these green candles don't happen, you know, randomly. You can see that there's a pump that goes from 300k to 7 million. This is not something that can happen because our retail investors decide to buy a project. It happens because there's a team of people, a Cabal, if you don't know what it is, that buys a lot of supply. It bundles the thing, then cleans out the distribution a little bit, and then they reach out to KOL saying, oh, can you make a YouTube videos about this? Can you just put a few posts, blah, blah, blah. And again, this is not controversial. This is how it happens in the crypto industry. This is how the majority of projects are sent. So whether you like it or not, this is what happens with meme coins, right? So they probably reached out to some influencers that started talking about it, but then you can actually see that there was a big correction because the price went down 90%. So what the hell happened, Cipro? So first of all, one of the details to notice is that this launched on the Let's Bonk launchpad, but there was another one on Pump Fund that people found out to be the OG, because this launched on the 14th of July, as you can see on that screener, whereas the one on Bonk launched 1 month after. So what the hell? People were like, hey, that is not the OG. This is the real OG meme coin, right? And you can see that this was another bundle scam, because you can see that the launch bumped and then dumped. It went to 2 million, and then he went to basically 0 to 30k in market cap, and it sat there for a very long time until mid-August, when people actually realized that this was the OG at the time. And after that we saw a crazy amount of green candles, so people found out that the bonk launch was actually not the OG one, and everybody started aping about this with, again, other KOLs that were like involved, blah blah blah. So what I would assume that happened is that a team decided to CTO show this as the OG, but probably not the first one, because the first one was more interested in doing a pump and dump, bring it to a couple of millions and then rug it to zero. So my assumption is that a team CTO'd this, bought a huge chunk of the supply. It did it gradually, because you can see that there's not like a massive candle like it was the case for the other one. But then, you know, like a lot of KOLs were involved into this, and you can see here, I would suppose that a big YouTuber or a big KOL just called this, and you know, everybody started FOMOing, blah blah blah. And right now we're seeing still a few mixed opinions. People believe that this is the OG until what happened today, pretty much, because there was a new one being migrated, and I'm gonna bring it right there on the screen right now. It pumped earlier in the day, now it's suffering a little bit. And again, I don't want to really endorse anything. I'm gonna tell you, for full disclosure, that I hold a bag of this one because I do believe that this is the true OG. I hold the bag. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm not telling you that this is gonna go 100x. I'm just saying that for the reasons that I'm gonna talk about, objective facts, I think that this is the OG, and I think this deserves to send. So what happened is that you can see, first of all, that this migrated 12 hours ago. So you're gonna be like, oh, Cipro, this is a new one, this is a copy. But no, if you actually look into the blockchain, and Winnow Day actually showed it in the video, I'm not gonna open SoulScan because I can't be bothered, but I think that also in the community you're gonna be able to find it. In fact, there we go. Like, this is exactly the thing that I was talking about. This is the pump fun, you know, the so-called OG one, and this is the one that I'm talking about right now. It was created 7 minutes before. So what happened is that basically this team that created the second one, that was like the scan that went to 2 million and then to zero, and now is considered to be the OG, was basically a copy that copied the original one that was launched 7 minutes before. Now, this is not rocket science. This is not being biased. Like, you can say that I'm biased because I hold the bag, but I hold the bag because I do examine facts, and I do believe that this is the OG. Because if something gets launched 7 minutes before the other one, it is truthfully the OG. You can prove me wrong in the comments, but I do believe it like that, because I mean, I examine facts into the blockchain, and this is pretty much what you can see, and you can verify it for yourself if you don't believe me, blah blah. And again, the CA of this starts with BWSJA, okay, if you are interested into buying the so-called right one that I do believe to be so. The community has just been created, to be completely honest. It's got 60 members right now. I mean, let's refresh the page, I'm not sure, but it's completely new. Yeah, 60 members right now. Are we gonna rotate into this? I don't know. I'm buying a bag just, you know, just in case this actually pumps in the end and wins the PvP battle. And I also just want to tell you, like, I do believe that PvPs are atrocious. I don't like PvPs. I think they are terrible for the industry. Why can't a Bitcoin mascot, just one, be created, everybody buys it, it becomes a PvE, player versus environment, and we all win together? No, there's gotta be scam artists like this one that just copied the launch 7 minutes after, and then the other one that launched it 1 year before and started a bundle scan that went nowhere because nobody gave a shit at the time. So why can't we all get along here and just create a runner and we all win? Like, crypto people probably don't even deserve this, because, you know, like, just people don't deserve it. Like, people want the drama, want the bullshit, want to create a scam, they bundle a thing, they rug it, and then they do it over and over again. And this is why the 1% of people make money, devs and KOLs, insiders make money, and the other people lose money. That is terrible. So I hope that this changes, sincerely, but I mean, for now, I can only examine facts of what is presented in front of me. So now that you at least understand what happened, and again, there's nothing really that you can disagree on because it's facts on the blockchain, you can perhaps have your own opinion on what the OG is and what the OG is not, or does it even matter in the conversation? To me, it matters, because if a team just bundles scams 5 minutes after an original concept, I mean, to me, it is, you know, a big deal, and it shouldn't be called the OG, because the OG was the one that was first created. But we also seen over time that, you know, some coins that were not really the OG sent regardless. It was the case for Pepe, it was the case for Brett, it was the case for a variety of other meme coins. Then when the Cabal really took over a second launch, it really sent in the end. I mean, Pepe coin was the original Pepe. It was launched a few years before, but it never really took traction, and it only gathered visibility after the Pepe that you all know and love actually sent and became the staple into the meme coin sphere. But to me, this is just so obvious that I could not endorse something that was just like Cabal scam and a CTO people that just decided to, you know, like to claim something as OG when that really is not the case on the blockchain. So this is why I'm bringing you guys this, and this is why I'm bringing you guys my thoughts if you happen to care. And obviously, after analyzing facts, you can make up your own mind and take your own decisions. This is the only one that I'm currently holding, and I'm gonna hold it and see what happens. I'm curious to hear what you guys think, so let me know your opinion down in the comments. Which one did you decide to buy? Which one you consider to be the OG, and does that even matter? I hope that this video made sense and was informative. If you want to get all of the crazy multipliers that we've been doing in my VIP group, you can see some right here in the pinned post on my X profile. You can access my VIP group with the first link down in the description, also the QR code that you see above my head. I hope to see you there and help you out with your crypto investing journey. And until then, take care for now.